Attention, Birds fans, something surprising just happened. No one saw this coming, but before we dive in, if you're a true Eagles fan, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Every day we bring you the hottest Eagles news straight from the most reliable sources. Let's get right into it. Trade leak reveals major shift in Eagles' plans for Dallas Goedert. The Philadelphia Eagles seem increasingly willing to trade their talented tight end Dallas Goedert, and maybe sooner than many expected. Known for his knack for striking deals that benefit the franchise, General Manager Howie Roseman is once again making moves. However, not every player is easy to trade, and Goedert's case may be more complex than it appears. Over the past few months, the Eagles have opened discussions about a potential trade involving Goedert. At 30 years old, he's looking for a long-term extension and carries a cap hit of over $11 million in 2025. Philadelphia, on the other hand, is aiming to free up cap space. Goedert wants more. The team wants to save. The standoff is clear, and a departure seems increasingly likely. Dallas. Goedert remains a name to watch on the trade market as the draft approaches. Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz posted. Interested. Teams believe Philadelphia would be open to future picks if they don't get 2025 draft capital. Goedert is in the final year of his deal and could be seeking a new contract as well. The fact that the team, via a reported leak, has lowered its asking price is a clear sign that interest may not have matched Philadelphia's initial expectations. And this isn't the first time the Eagles have been in this position. Last offseason, after placing edge rusher Hassan Reddick on the trade block, the team eventually lowered its price and traded the All-Pro to the New York Jets for a 2026 third-round pick, a move that worked out well for Philadelphia. But the Goedert situation is different. He's not threatening to hold out for half the season like Reddick was. That adds another layer of complexity and uncertainty to any potential deal. In an ideal world, the Eagles would keep every player who deserves to be rewarded. But the reality of the NFL's salary cap makes that nearly impossible. Even with the cap constantly rising, few teams can afford to retain multiple top 10 players at their respective positions. Given that, one of the most strategic decisions involving defensive tackle Jordan Davis, the 13th overall pick in the 2022 draft, could be to decline his fifth-year option for 2026, allowing him to become an unrestricted free agent after the 2025 season. This move would open the door for Davis to pursue a contract similar to the one former Eagle Milton Williams signed with the Patriots. 4 years, $104 million. It would also clear the way for All-Pro Jalen Carter to negotiate a potentially historic extension in March 2026. NFL teams have until May 3rd to decide whether to exercise the fifth-year option for 2022 draft picks. For Davis, the projected value of that extra year is around $13 million guaranteed. If the Eagles choose not to activate the option, they risk losing another defensive lineman to free agency, especially if Davis boosts his market value beyond what the team is willing to pay, as happened with Williams. According to journalist Brooks Kubina of The Athletic, such a decision would also suggest the team is preparing to move on from Davis altogether. Though some consider him more valuable as trade bait, his locker room presence and potential on-field impact in 2025 might outweigh any immediate return from a deal. Davis, who has started every game over the past 2 seasons, is well liked by his teammates. Trading him before he has a chance to contribute to another Super Bowl run could disrupt internal chemistry. From a practical standpoint, keeping him for another year at roughly $3 million, the final year of his rookie deal, is a great value, the kind of deal that attracts attention from front offices around the league. Meanwhile, Jalen Carter, Davis's former Georgia teammate and the Eagles' 2023 first-round pick, is expected to surpass all previous contracts for players at his position. A standout on the defense that powered Philadelphia to the 2024 Super Bowl, Carter could become the highest-paid defender in NFL history. At the very least, he's expected to eclipse the deal Chris Jones signed with the Kansas City Chiefs in March 2024, 5 years, $158.7 million with $95 million guaranteed. Quick reminder, if you want to keep receiving the latest Eagles updates, here on YouTube, don't forget to smash that like button. Now back to the news. As the 2025 draft approaches, Dallas Goedert's name is heating up behind the scenes as a potential trade asset. Entering the final year of his $57 million contract signed in 2021, with no more guaranteed money left, Goedert is pushing for an extension. With age catching up and a history of injuries, it makes sense that he wants more security. The problem? The Eagles are focused on cutting payroll. With an $11.7 million cap hit, Goedert could be the next to go, following in the footsteps of C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kenny Pickett earlier this offseason. Insider Anthony DeBona even floated a bold trade scenario with the rival New York Giants, Goedert to NY, in exchange for edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau, a 2025 third-round pick, number 96, and a 2026 fifth-rounder. With Saquon Barkley already in the mix and the recent addition of A.J. Dillon, the Eagles' backfield is already turning heads. But according to Sterling Sy from Pro Football Network, things could get even more explosive with the potential arrival of a surprising name, Austin Ekeler, currently with the Washington Commanders. Ekeler, known for his elite receiving skills and overall versatility, would be the perfect complement to Barkley. Together, they could become one of the most dynamic duos in the entire league. Sounds bold. Maybe. But the logic is solid. Ekeler is a master of the passing game out of the backfield, while Barkley is an unstoppable force in the ground game. Together, they could turn any play into a defensive nightmare, and Ekeler's resume backs it up. With 475 receptions for 4,250 yards and 30 touchdowns, his stats rival those of legit slot receivers. Even after an injury-plagued 2024 season, he still averaged 4.8 yards per carry and was named All-Pro as a return specialist, showing his impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. In the Eagles' system, Ekeler wouldn't just be another piece, he'd be a key tactical weapon. Jalen Hurts would get a new go-to guy for quick throws and clutch moments, like third downs and red zone plays. While Dillon is effective in power runs between the tackles, he doesn't offer the same route running and catching finesse that makes Ekeler so unique, giving the offensive coordinator a whole new world of possibilities. Picture this: Hurts, Barkley, and Ekeler in the backfield. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith stretching the field. The threat of explosive runs, screen passes, jet motions, and RPOs, run-pass options, it would leave defenses gasping, both physically and mentally. This Eagles offense would become unpredictable, fluid, and absolutely lethal. Of course, it all hinges on one key factor: whether the Washington Commanders are willing to trade within the division. Normally, NFC East teams avoid that, but the current context might change things. Washington has 4 running backs hitting free agency, and Ekeler, now 29, carries an $11.4 million contract with a manageable cap hit. A mid to late round draft pick might be enough to get them to part ways with